Pacific Crest. Sorry we didn't touch base last week, but we're back on track this week. So a couple things I want to talk through. The first one is airflow. The history of airflow to date, when we were just beginning to reopen, right before we were going to reopen, one of the members asked about airflow, which was a great prompt for me. And we got our initial airflow ideas from my stepbrother who does commercial HVAC. And the thought process was to overpressurize with outside air, which is clean air, and then exhaust it out of the front. And by overpressurizing, we needed to seal up the openings as much as we could. So that was a great initial idea. But one of our members, Andy Byers, works for a company called ANSYS that does computer modeling for fluid dynamics and airflow and that type of thing. And they have a new set of software. It's kind of a more layman-friendly versus engineer-friendly piece of software that he thought could be really helpful with this. So he and I have been working together for the last 3 weeks or so, modeling the airflow in the gym. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but this is one of the presentations that he sent. He set up kind of general dimensions of the gym, where things were, different airflow from the fans and so forth, and then ran through airflow modeling. And we all had a Zoom call with his engineer about a week and a half ago, went through different scenarios and landed on this one. And so this is what we ultimately settled on. It was the best model that we came up with. And so there's two reasons really I wanted to talk through this. The first is, you've probably seen now we have the doors open, and that was part of this, is that Andy's team found out that it was actually better to not try to trap the air in there. So it's not that we're just getting lazy with the plywood. And the second is that the fans will be changing. Turns out we don't need that huge 36-inch fan that's deafening everybody. And then lastly, I'm just very impressed with Andy's help. You know, it's so impressive, all the skills and careers people have in our gym, and they're so diverse and they're so interesting. And it's one of my favorite parts of the job, is to hear about what you guys do and what you enjoy about it. And so I can say with pretty high confidence that we may have the most advanced airflow modeling of any CrossFit gym in the world. So I feel pretty good about that. So thank you, Andy Byers, for your help there. The second thing to talk about is the competition we alluded to a few weeks ago. So Adam and Tony did an online competition. It seemed like a super great idea. Elaine and I started having that conversation, and we want to start this Thursday. And I'm going to put more details so you can reference them in the newsletter. But every summer to date, we've had a PCCF Summer Throwdown. And I think this year we're going to call it the PCCF Summer Lockdown, a little bit more appropriate. It's going to run very much like the CrossFit Open. We're going to release one workout a week for 3 weeks, starting this Thursday. It's 2-person team workouts, non-gender specific, male, female, male, female, no gender identity, doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. We'll just have a spectrum of weights and so forth for you to choose from. And you have the weekend to complete it. So Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we will have equipment versions as if you were in a gym, and home versions as if you were not in a gym. And so you can do either one. And there's a couple different ways we see you pulling this off. There are some people that have home gyms. So like Adam and Tony did the competition that I talked about. Adam has a fairly well kitted out home gym, so they were able to do it there. So that's one way you could do it. The other way you could do it is do it at the gym. We have basically open gym all weekend long, and you can have 4 people at a time in there per hour. So 2 teams at a time could be going in there all weekend long. And so there's another way you can pull it off. Or you can do the home version. If you are Zooming with your partner, just let us know if you need support there. There's different ways you can skin that cat by setting up your own Zoom account, and we can certainly help you with that. Zoom is free, so at least for personal use. So we can help you there if you want help there. We're only going to ask that you tag us on Instagram if you have an account, and that you post it to your story. And we'll do all the math and calculate winners and so forth once we're at the end. So PCCF summer lockdown coming soon. Okay, 2 other things. Masks. I've had 2 major questions about masks. The first one was there was a little bit of concern about neck gaiters, bandanas, and so forth. There was a story out about the fact that they could actually be worse than no mask at all. The fact that when the liquid your breath passing through them could aerosolize and make it worse. Thankfully, we have Dr. Matt on staff, always there for this, and he checked out the study, and it doesn't seem to apply. So the material that they used was different. It was fleece. They used it in a different environment. So I think we're all safe there. So go for it on your neck gaiters. The other question we get a lot is, what's everybody like? And honestly, there's not a lot of consensus. If I see any leanings in one direction, there are more people that like the paper masks than any other version. The people that use them feel like they're fairly easy to manipulate and get in the right place for their face and so forth. I personally don't like them at all, but that just shows you how off consensus I am. So there you go. And then the last thing, the rig is shipped. The vaunted rig that we're so excited about finally made it out of Ohio and should be here next week. That's really going to increase our capability. So if it gets here next week, we're going to try to have it up the following weekend. And that's going to give you all your own lifting stations. We're going to try to separate the equipment out as best as we can so you have most of your stuff available to you. So that's it for this week, and we'll see you at the gym.